from the harpoonist and the axe murderer on CBC Radio 2 Drive.
Yes, I'm listening to the CBC Radio 2.
In exchange, Iran's sanctions against Iran will gradually be lifted. But critics say Iran gains more than it loses. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is among the most sharply critical.
In a decade, this deal will give an unreformed, unrepentant, and far richer terrorist regime the capacity to produce many nuclear bombs. In fact, an entire nuclear arsenal with the means to deliver it. What a stunning, historic mistake.
In Washington, Republican House Speaker John Boehner also signaled his opposition to the deal.
The deal that we have out there, in my view, is unacceptable. It's going to hand a dangerous regime billions of dollars in sanctions relief while paving the way for a nuclear Iran. This isn't about Democrats or Republicans. It's about right versus wrong. If in fact it's as bad a deal as I think it is, we'll do everything we can to stop it.
U.S. President Barack Obama says he's prepared to veto any congressional bill that blocks the deal with Iran. Canada's sanctions against Iran will remain in place for the time being. In a statement, the Foreign Affairs Minister said Canada will judge Iran by its actions and not by its words. Rob Nicholson says Iran continues to be a, quote, significant threat to international peace and security. Alberta Premier Rachel Notley traveled to Quebec today, hoping to garner support for the Energy East pipeline. She held a private meeting with her Quebec counterpart a day ahead of the Premier's conference in Newfoundland. Alison Dempster reports.
Rachel Notley says she had a good discussion with Quebec Premier Philippe Couillard today, topping the agenda, climate change, oil, and pipelines. One in particular, TransCanada's Energy East project. Couillard reminded Notley of the conditions he wants to see met before he gets behind the pipeline, including an assessment of its impact on greenhouse gas emissions. Notley's response?
I mean, essentially what they need to see is some meaningful action with respect to environmental protection and climate change, and it needs to make economic sense for Quebec. Those are not unreasonable standards, the same standards we would look for in Alberta.
The Energy East pipeline would carry oil sands crude from Western Canada to refineries in Quebec and New Brunswick. Later this week, Notley will be in Newfoundland for the Premier's Conference, where pipelines and climate change are also on the agenda. The Premiers are expected to work on a national energy strategy that's been 3 years in the making. Alison Dempster, CBC News, Calgary.
History was made today with NASA's New Horizons spacecraft. It flew past Pluto, capturing high-resolution pictures of the dwarf planet. Stephen D'Souza has more.
Hundreds waved American flags and cheered as they watched the timer count down to the moment they'd been waiting for, as the New Horizons spacecraft passed within 12,000 kilometers of Pluto, a hair's breadth in space. The probe is about the size of a grand piano and traveled 9.5 years, nearly 5 billion kilometers. As it flies by today, it will gather images and data, giving scientists a detailed look at Pluto. While there is celebration, there is anxiety too. While New Horizons is busy gathering data, it's not talking to mission control on Earth. Scientists here won't know until around 9 p.m. tonight if it's okay. Alice Bowman is Missions Operations Manager.
I am feeling a little bit nervous, just like you do when you set your child off.
After the connection is made, the waterfall of data begins, and it will continue for more than a year. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, Lowell, Maryland.
After another winning day on the water, Canada is continuing to win Pan Am medals on land. Gymnast Ellie Black earned the bronze in the women's vault event today. Black took home a gold in yesterday's all-round competition. Earlier this morning, Canadians won another 8 medals in canoe, kayak, and rowing events, 5 of them gold. Canada is first in the standings at the Pan Am Games with 53 medals, 22 of which are gold.
That's amazing.
I'm Lloyd.
Here's to the CBC Radio with the report. Sports Night will start soon.